That's connecting. Stream has started. Let me make sure everything is good. Everything's Gucci. Is that still a thing? Do people still say Gucci?
I don't know.
Okay.
Lil Yachty probably says Gucci.
First will goes first soda.
Galileo.
What? Galileo.
Yo, are we doing this or what?
Yep. Okay, we're live.
Oh, we are?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, welcome back to the Jerky Boys podcast. Today we're going to be reviewing tons of types of beef jerky. Mateo, what type of jerky you got going there, boy?
I got some of that. What kind of bit are we doing?
All right, that's boring. Barack, what kind of jerky you got going there, boy?
Well, I'd talk to you about the type of jerky I got going on, but we'd have to make this not rated.
All right, with that, the bit's over. Screw you.
Oh my god.
And that's the live stream. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks
Yeah.
for tuning in.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a nice day.
Okay.
By the way, the joke is hand jerky. It's hand jerky.
Yeah, it is.
Haha, yeah.
I get it.
Yep. Okay. So with that being said, welcome to the Random Points podcast. Episode number 2 or episode number 1. It depends. Who knows? But we'll figure that out. That's for future us. Today I am joined by Chance, Barack, and Chris. You guys, how you guys doing?
I'm just dandy, even though you guys ruined my bit.
I'm dead inside.
Man, I didn't even do anything. I just ate up a taco, and I'm not satisfied with the taco. So.
Okay.
Did you say you just ate up a taco, or
Yeah, I ate up a taco, and I'm not satisfied with the taco.
ate up a taco? Hell yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this sucker got 86th by my teeth.
He smashed
Is
it.
that how
He
it
went
works?
ham.
I think that. Yeah, I just went ham on that motherfucker, and it actually had ham in it too, which was weird.
A taco with ham in it?
Okay.
Uh huh.
Huh. Where'd you
What
go?
was going on?
You know, I just had tacos earlier today. We had brisket. They were really nice.
It was in the DFAC. I was in my cafeteria on base, so it was just
Okay.
it
They
was
put,
weird.
they
Ladies
gave
and
you ham
gentlemen,
ta-
that's the Air Force for you. They have pork tacos.
Okay.
This is a good gaming podcast.
I
Hey.
know, right?
Hey. This is the BS section. All right. We got-
Mhm.
EA, the badass section.
Sure.
I approve that. I approve that.
Yep.
Hey, you know, Chris, that's not the weirdest thing to have in a DFAC. I mean, my DFAC in South Dakota had bison burgers, so that was nice.
But bison
But
burgers
yeah,
are
well,
like
my
the
DFAC
thing now,
ate a
though.
squirrel.
What?
My defect, my defect ate my left foot.
Okay.
How about that?
Okay, anyway. Mateo, back to you.
Yeah.
Please.
So, this is how we're going. This is what we are setting forth for the world of gaming. We are pioneers in entertainment.
Is
So,
that what we're calling ourselves?
yeah, we are going to uncharted territory. Yeah.
Or territory that's been charted like 50 times and we're just kind of ripping off of it, but you know.
I mean, I guess
I think we're making it fresh.
we are. In fact, I'm gonna put something in the chat right now. We are.
What?
There you go. I
Well,
put it in the live
speaking
stream
of
chat
pioneers,
because
Pioneer
we are-
has like a 62 right now, so that's pretty good.
that's nice. Anyone see the who won the Overwatch League?
Uh huh.
It was-
Well, I
Overwatch
heard
has a
about it.
league?
Who won?
I think it was London.
Spitfire. Yeah,
Yeah,
London.
London Spitfire.
All right.
Because
That's pretty-
Excelsior didn't win. Sad about that.
Mad, bro.
Just a little bit. But we can talk about all that and more later in the thing. Let's move on to our first part of this whole thing where we talk about what we've been playing. So, Chance, why don't you start us off? What have you been playing?
Well, people who are listening right now on the live stream won't know this, but in the technical first episode, I mentioned at the very end that there was a game I forgot to mention that I was playing, and that is I'm still playing it now, so it's still relevant. I recently got into Hatsune Miku Project Diva, and it's been a ton of fun. Honestly, I didn't expect to love it as much as I am.
You're playing the most current one, right? The arcade port with Fujitone.
Yes, that's the one I'm playing. But besides that, I recently beat Far Cry 5, and now I'm playing Far Cry 3, like the remaster edition they released with the like Far Cry 5 Digital Deluxe or whatever it is. Besides that, I just downloaded it today and played a little bit of it before the podcast. I started playing Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, and that game has me shaken to the core with its audio. It's phenomenal. Like, honestly, I got it on sale, but I would have been so happy to pay full price.
That game was like $30 anyway. I think it was like 40.
I bought it for like 20. Or
yeah.
something.
It's totally good. In fact, I'm about to throw some like gameplay up on the screen here. If I can get that running.
Like, the main thing I've just got to stress is play it with headphones, because all of the voiceovers and the stuff, like, I watched the behind the scenes before I even bought the game of like the voice actors. They had a microphone that essentially captured 360-degree sound, and essentially all the voice actors would just say their lines while walking around the microphone, and it makes for crazy audio effects, especially with the headphones on, because there's some like ASMR kind of triggers in it that just sent tingling down my spine, and it's ridiculously fun. I'm probably playing it after I get done talking to you losers.
I had started it. I need to go back to it, but it's definitely a game that needs to be experienced, like, by yourself. Sit down, play it, make sure you have headphones on. The audio is like unsettling. It's like a scary game, but not in like a scary set. Not even like in a psychological. It's just unnerving. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah, but the whole intro, like, the intro of the game, she's just on a boat and she's paddling in towards land, and the whole time the audio stuff's like messing with you and all that, and you keep hearing the voices because she has, I want to say schizophrenia.
Yeah, it's schizophrenia.
Schizophrenia and probably some like anxiety.
Yeah, it's just like everything. It's like just start laying off
anxiety.
It is. So what did you think of? What did you think of
the whole intro sequence? But the whole intro sequence is just you're riding in on a boat, and the voices are like, "They see you. They're coming to get you. Oh no!" And I'm just like, the whole time I'm like, something's gonna jump out. I'm terrified.
Right? It's really uncomfortable. What would you think of the opener? So like a lot of people, back when this game first came out, it was like the opener's cool, but it's way too long. I think it's like 8 minutes or something like that. If you just sitting in that boat.
Oh, I honestly didn't notice it because I felt so tense, because I knew nothing about this game. I knew I didn't know if it was just a pure action game. I didn't know what the combat was like. All I knew about it was that it was super cool with its audio design. So I was marveling at the audio the entire opening. And so I really didn't care, honestly. And plus there's the whole backlog of like, here's why she's here, and like kind of explaining a little bit. Yeah. And so the whole time I was just kind of like, yeah, this is cool. This is neat. I'm terrified, but this is neat.
I mean, it's a really cool thing. And what's kind of it did get a little bit of some weird controversy. It's not spoilers or anything, but how far have you gotten into it? Like how have you done your first combat?
Yes.
Okay, so
I've done my first combat.
So the game like puts out this like idea of like a permadeath system.
Yes.
Except no one seems to know if it's real or not. I haven't looked into it to see what the final verdict on it because it was going back and forth. Like some people said, so basically what it was is if you die too many times, basically, it'll just like erase your, or like if you actually do die, like the rot gets all the way up to your head or whatever, it'll delete your save data. Or that was the idea behind it. They never said. And
well, story-wise, I don't feel like this is spoiler considering it happens literally in that opening section. Senua has this death rot kind of on her arm.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
The game says that after each failure, the rot will continue to consume her body, and it will permanently kill her when it reaches her head.
When it reaches her head, yeah.
That's terrifying.
It
pretty much then says, like, if this happens, you will have to return to the beginning. And so it gives this very permadeath kind of, not exactly permadeath, but this, like, you mess up too much, you're starting over.
Yeah, you start back at the top. And that's the weird things that I haven't looked into it myself, because it was kind of flipping back and forth that whether or not that actually happened or not. Because I know some people who are like, no, I died tons and tons and tons of times, and this never happened. And then, if you look online, there are some people who are like, yeah, I deleted my stuff, and there are other people who's like, yeah, no, it didn't delete anything. So I don't know. I don't actually know.
I'm kind of wanting to keep the illusion unknown to me. Like,
you don't want to test it.
I don't want to test it because that just makes things so much more intense in terms of the gameplay. Where it's like, I don't know how many times I am allowed to die. So it just makes me even more cautious with my gameplay. This isn't gonna be a like Dark Souls thing where it's like, oh, I died, well, I gotta go back. And,
we're like dying is like part of the game.
Where it's like, yeah, it's like if I die, this could end badly for me.
Nier Automata has something very similar to it. I finished playing that not terribly long ago. No spoiler because that in and of itself is really important to like the type of story that's it's a really meta game, but not like fourth wall like haha like Deadpool, in that Nier Automata is very much like the type of like, because you play as an android, the whole game is revolved around the fact that you're an android. So that's what's really interesting about the whole thing. But I don't know. No, that's interesting. I want to know what you think. I need to finish it myself and see where that what that is. We could talk about it a little bit later. Brock, what have you been playing?
I think he's actually still out, so I'm
okay.
Just keep straight to
Chris, you go.
Well, I hate to. I really just did, but I'm one of those Destiny 2 clowns. Yeah, that's right. I said it. Destiny 2. So I am a total pleb. I am a noob to the gaming life style.
Hey dude, do you wanna join my strike, dude?
Doing strike? We need these guys for raid.
Dude, I'm gonna do a raid.
But all criticism aside, I just started the what they call Solstice of Heroes. It's like the home stretch before we get into year 2.
I saw an ad about that.
And I've managed to complete like well over a third of that crap in 30 minutes.
Could you do me a favor and just kind of, I play Destiny 2 also, but I don't play it as much as a few of the people in this group, not in this exact group, but within the Random Points group. I don't play it nearly as much, but I do play it because I enjoy the multiplayer, like PvP stuff.
The gameplay is fun. Like, it plays
I'm also
well.
a junkie for RPGs. Yeah. The gunplay is very nice, but so this Solstice of Heroes or whatever it is.
It is okay.
What do you do?
How do I put this? Solstice of Heroes is clearly just a rehashed version of the Age of Triumph from Destiny 1. So D1, where basically you're just completing a lot of tasks throughout year 1 before like the next big expansion is going to happen. So with Age of Triumph, the event lasted for a few weeks before year 2 came around with the Taken King, which was the next big expansion to the to Destiny's story. Now, there are a bunch of bounties that we have to complete in order to basically level up armor that we have that we started with in Destiny 2.
Yeah, because light max was raised up to 400.
For the armor, yeah, I haven't checked and see if they actually made that adjustment just now, but if so, then that is very early, and I really don't understand why. I was going to wait for the next expansion to open up to where the light level did kick up to... They probably did because of the new armor set.
So what's it
kicked to 400, but then... okay, so...
Solstice of Heroes.
Solstice of Heroes.
Solstice, okay. I see it. Okay, go ahead.
Alright,
so
they're basically...
Here's my biggest question.
Okay.
So for me, I don't play Destiny all that much. I've done one raid. I didn't really enjoy myself on it, to be honest. I literally play it just because I'm like, I want to shoot some things, or I want to shoot other people in like PvP. Should I be getting on to play Solstice of Heroes?
Well, if you're a major completionist and trying to armor, that's I think that's kind of the sole purpose of it right now with Solstice of Heroes. As much as you can see from the gameplay right now. So it's basically telling you you're just going back to how stuff began and just reliving the story. Completing bounties to basically, what is it? Get your armor all set up so then it'd be all shiny and luminous like you're at a Daft Punk concert or some crazy shenanigans like that.
I love my already.
Yeah, I know. And much like you, I'm not much of a raid person myself, but I mean I'll go and poke around every once in a while. I'm mostly strikes and PvP. So this is the main reason why I play Destiny 2 right now. So I'm waiting on Forsaken to come out so then I can kick things up a notch because they got bow and arrows now. So I'm really excited about that.
I'm excited to see how Forsaken plays out because I know with the previous, I've been very disappointed by the Destiny 2 DLCs, mostly because I'm not super into Destiny lore or anything like that. I mostly play it because I like shooting things and it's a pretty decent shooter. But I know it's like, I'm really hoping for some variety in terms of enemy types that are that would come with Forsaken. I know nothing about the DLC, whether stuff has been announced. All I know is there was, for the last one, when you're fighting essentially the are they the Taken?
Ball. Oh, you're talking about from in the Taken King DLC?
No, Destiny 2, the second DLC that came out.
Oh, you mean Warmind? You're facing off against basically the Hive.
Yeah, it's the Hive. It's the Hive, but they're like, no, they're different. They're frozen. I'm like, that did nothing differently.
That did
to the
nothing.
Enemies.
But see, so with most folks that are probably gonna be listening to this podcast right now, still has faith in Destiny 2, I would say. I'm not so sure. I'm going to take that with a grain of salt. Most of them right now are probably just going to wait until Forsaken comes out because it is basically Bungie is trying to bring back the D1 days, but then adding a new flair to it. So you basically have you actually have somewhat of a good story. Hopefully the missions are a bit longer than the Taken King. And it's going back. It's getting darker. I would say I'm just gonna hint that out for you. It's gonna get dark once you start playing it.
Fucking die.
Yeah, no, I mean, no,
Yeah,
Kate,
like
you
just spoiled it. You just spoiled it. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, everyone said that, but like,
How is it a spoiler?
everyone has said Kate is going to die. No, but here's the thing with Destiny.
Trailer.
Have you seen? One of the things I don't like about Destiny is that, and I say it all the time, Destiny is like an MMO from 10 years ago. But like, have you guys seen the like Japanese Destiny trailers? Like, I want to play this game.
Boy, don't get me started. Don't get me started, cause, oh man, I think it was during Taken King, cause one of our other guys, Archer, one of our other team, he ended up throwing me these links about the Japanese trailers for Destiny. I'm like, how come we don't have this in America? That's what I want to know.
That's what I'm saying.
Jesus, I mean, goodness gracious, man, like, I want that. You know that, but yeah, of course, Bungie spoiled it for us with the fact that Kate's gonna die. So we have a personal
die.
Man, see, I know. See, but anyway, at the end of all this, though, if you guys know from
this stuff is amazing.
The ending of the basic story for Destiny 2, after you beat Gaul and all that crazy stuff, and officially turn on the Traveler, I would say. Then you make these very weird prismatic ships. I'm not even sure prismatic is even a word. Well, the right word. A prismatic ships just rotating around this big ship, and pretty much from the pulse that the Traveler just emitted its light to. What myself and our boy Archer came up with is the fact that both ships is a representation of what the next boss is going to be after we decide to put a bullet in Uldren's head. Oh, man, can't wait for that. But in a sense, it's supposed to be who put it there? For those who know, Eris Morn was one of the other NPCs that we have not seen in Destiny 2, who will most likely be making a comeback sometime in the future. That's what we're predicting, that she'll come back in the future. Because she was a part of the Taken King story. She was heavily a part of the Taken King story. So if y'all didn't catch any clues from the ending cutscene of the Taken King, then you might be on the same boat too. That, hey, oh my goodness, she's a double agent. What are we gonna do about it? So, I mean, I'm waiting on that to happen, and if I'm right, then holy crap. But besides Destiny 2, I've been trying to catch up with my gaming on Overwatch, because Overwatch League looked epic as hell, and I loved it.
Yeah, we sat down and played some Overwatch a couple days ago, and it was our first time experiencing Hammond in actual matches, and it was so funny because, like, personally, I was super scared of Hammond breaking the game, but he really doesn't. He's still pretty squishy, and right now, at least, a lot of people go and, like, they see a Hammond and they aim at him. So
what's his class?
He's basically a tank. He's basically a tank, but they have him in the damage class. So whatever. Anyway, so he's a tank, and it's basically just
it's so funny watching him play, because you've got all the people who are on the ground, they're kind of playing it, and you got Hammond who's like flinging off of buildings and flying all around and just going crazy, and everybody's just looking at him like, what the hell?
Saying that he has like the highest difficulty, like 3-star difficulty on him as playing as him, I'm not gonna lie, it will take some work on trying to master the movement of
Spider-Man
of Hammond, aka Wrecking Ball, aka Mechanical Spider-Man, aka
Hamtaro.
And my personal favorite, Super Hamster Ball, not Super Monkey Ball, Super Hamster Ball.
No, it's Hamtaro all the way.
G-Force.
But it's oh my god! Stop! Get that out of here! I didn't even see that movie, to be honest. And yes, but anyway, no. With Overwatch though, I mean, I think Overwatch is at a good point right now. I mean, I'm still after what? It's been 2 years. It's been 2 years since the game's been out. So
I think is it older than that?
It's two. It's two. It had a 2-year anniversary. Yeah. So I'm still a little bit salty about about what they did to Mercy and all this other crazy crap.
Oh, she's getting another nerf.
What did she do this time?
They're pretty much her healing beam right now. It does, I think, 60 health a second, I think it heals 60 health a second or something like that. They're lowering it to 50, I believe.
Okay, it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's not a huge nerf. I saw Mercy nerf, and I immediately clicked on it, and they're like, we're only doing the beam. They're doing the beam on Mercy and nerfing that, but they're buffing all the other healers besides Bridget. Because they're still really trying to make all the healers balanced, so they're all a possible choice when picking a healer, rather than just being like, oh, if you don't have a Mercy, you're pretty much fucked. They're trying to make everybody reasonable.
Yeah. I got to get back on. I got to be back on my Mercy grind, man, because she was my main before she got nerfed.
She's my main. Still.
Overwatch is super interesting because it's such a different game than when it came. Like Overwatch came out and it had this idea of, hey, like everyone was balanced against. So like there were characters who had major, like, who were severely overpowered or underpowered, but that's because they had these hard counters. Like, who remembers like Bastion? Like when Bastion first came, Bastion was just tearing up everything, but all you had to do was switch to Genji, and you'd just kill him. And then you'd have a Genji who was now overpowered that couldn't, no one could stop. Then you would just, like, Overwatch had this idea of, like, constantly switching characters, and no one played like that, so they had to rebalance the whole game.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm okay with the change. I was fine with it being like, oh, switch heroes to choose who would be best to oppose the enemy team. But now it's become, there are heroes that have very good, like, oppositions where it's like Bastion is still pretty screwed over if a Genji comes flying in reflecting all the bullets.
Yeah.
Or you get a surprise attack from Reaper.
Yeah, you get a good flanker in there. You can take that.
However, it's become more of a, okay, there's this character, here are tactics to get past them using what you have. So it's now become less of a rock, paper, scissors match, more of a who can play their character best.
Yeah. I mean, both are good. I'm a little bit, like, I like the idea of that constantly switching to adapt to the game, but, I mean, I get it. Is dive comp still, like, the thing? Is that still, because that became the meta, and it just stayed the meta.
It's not as bad ever since that they implemented the penalties for it. And I think they've actually enforced them recently. So pretty much less and less people are actually doing this, and then they don't, like, get banned or some stuff like that.
Because I know,
but all in all,
was like, everyone get your if your character can jump, do that, and everyone's gonna attack this character and just go, and that's it. D.Va like rose to the top so fast because of dive comp, because she's heavy, she's tanky, she'll tear you up close quarters, and then they nerfed her.
And technically has 2 lives. Yeah. So, but let's see. Wrecking Ball, aka Hammond, aka Hamtar. He's not breaking.
No, he's not. He's not as broken as I was thinking he was gonna be. Honestly, if they nerf him, I'd understand it. But honestly, he seems overly pretty balanced.
Yeah, he's pretty balanced.
Probably the most balanced hero I've seen come into Overwatch fresh out of the
out of PTR
beta, whatever it is, PTR. Yeah.
Also, in my opinion, with freaking Overwatch and all this crazy crap, I mean, there are certain characters out there that I want to have a buff on their. I mean, I try to play as Reaper, and he still feels as slow from back in day 1. So.
Oh, that's the one thing that Hammond needs nerfed. He is extremely fast.
Is he?
When he is in mech mode. When he is in mech mode,
when he's like rolling around.
Fast. It looks.
When he's rolling around, dude.
No, when he's rolling around, that's understandable. But when he's out in his mech and he's got his guns out, he's super fast. Like, you even watch his animation, and he looks like he shouldn't be moving that fast.
I haven't played him yet. I just but just from looking at him,
I'm pretty damn sure he's almost a little bit faster than D.Va.
D.Va's not that fast.
I ain't mad about that though.
D.Va,
but he should move at probably the same speed.
Yeah, that's what
D.Va.
I would think that her and with their similar tool sets, like Hammond looks like he'd have a little bit more range, but I'd imagine that they'd play similar.
Yeah.
I haven't touched them yet.
Let's see.
So I'll let you guys know when I actually play Overwatch.
At some sort of a trade-off chance, my prediction, I think, like if they do another balance change and they pick on Hammond for a little bit, drop his speed a little bit, just a little bit, not that much, but then buff his shield just a little bit. Like just a couple tweaks, because I was playing.
Did you figure out how his shield works?
Yeah. So
yeah.
His shield to me feels like it feels like Orisa's fortification for a second, but that's just because I'm getting hit a lot.
Kinda.
So it has so it has a shield, but then
the way the shield works is he gets more shielding if he's closer to more enemies. So if you're next to one enemy, you're gonna get a little bit of shielding, but if you're close to like 4 enemies, you're gonna get a ton of shielding.
Oh, that is.
So I've been using that shield all kinds of.
That's super tanky.
That is awesome.
That's like Roadhog. You're supposed to drop him in the middle of stuff.
No, so literally, so in a sense, that means basically while he's just rolling around and all trying to get real close. Yeah, I think it might go in combo with his
So the ideal way to play him is you'll grapple hook onto some sort of ledge, fling yourself up, use his smash down ability to smash down on top of the enemy team, then hit your shielding button, which will pop you out of mech and start mowing people down.
Oh, that's
how you play him.
That's basically
it's a maneuver that's hard to do, honestly.
Yeah, that sounds like it's like if you took Winston and Roadhog and just kind of smashed them together. Because like D.Va plays this, except D.Va's a backline bully. D.Va's supposed to take care of all the flankers and anyone who can fly.
Yeah.
But like Winston got replaced with D.Va because Winston sucks and D.Va can do the same thing Winston can do and won't die immediately and can kill things. So
Okay. In his defense though, well, in somewhat of me agreeing with you at the same time, let's see. What was I about to say? Winston. Along with D.Va basically hunting out the other flankers and stuff, Roadhog is by far the best one, in my opinion. Because literally he can sniff them out. He's technically a bit beefier than D.Va. I think that she's more of a front lines person like Reinhardt is, where she's just basically trying to get everyone to grab attention to her, while if you're playing a very heavy tank type of team, where most of them would be D.Va, one of them would be Roadhog and whatever, or you got one hunting out the flankers and you just got another one.
I mean, that's like I haven't played because like
in the middle.
even though her like defense matrix eats everything, right, like a hungry hippo.
It does.
It's not. She's not a good tank. Like she's a bad tank. But like I found that D.Va's the best when when I play D.Va, I'm like taking out the snipers. I'm like taking out the Pharahs, right? I'm like if I feel ballsy, I'll go up against a Reaper because I can get in there, smash them, hit them, and then pull out. And then I have my defense matrix that'll hold up long enough that I can retreat out of there.
Yeah. Along with her.
Hold on. Yeah. I think we've had a good amount of Overwatch talk, and I believe Brock is back, and Brock does not play. For a while. Brock does not play Overwatch, so he's been quietly waiting for us to just stop our talk.
Okay. So we're gonna end it. We're gonna end this conversation with this one.
Yeah, we'll always talk about Overwatch. Brock,
Hammond's pretty cool.
Brock, what have you been playing?
So I before we started the stream, I was playing Fishing Planet, but only because I wanted to.
He was catching some big ones.
I caught a really big bass, if you know what I mean. No, so what I've been playing recently is like as I stated last week in episode 1, or tentatively episode 0, or whatever it is.
Episode BS.
Last hey, that's my initials. Last stream, or last podcast we did, I talked about I was playing Kingdom Hearts 1.5 2.5 Remix, and I was currently playing through 1.5 Final Mix, right? And so I've just yesterday or Sunday, I don't remember which one it was. I decided to fight one of the optional bosses in the game, and it was the very first time that I had fought the optional boss. And I think Mateo, if I screen share on here, will it show up on your stream?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Here we go. Bam. Screen share. So.
Whoa!
What I did.
We're in a paradox.
Full screen.
So here's a whole video here. I'm going to show you. I need to lower the volume for me so I don't die because it's really loud. All right. So there's this is my fight with Kurt Zyza, who's actually a member of the regular public who Square Enix put out a thing like, hey, we're making a video game. There's a naming competition for a thing and also a design contest. And so they put this design contest out, and this guy named Kurt Zyza from like Pennsylvania or something like that submitted this illustration of this like, you know, mechanical snake guy with 6 arms and like 2 scimitars, you know, and they're like, oh, that's perfect, you win. So instead of, and he didn't submit a at least from what I think I know, he didn't submit like a name. So he just so what Square Enix did is they just were like, all right, we're just gonna call it Kurt Zyza, and so that's the name of this boss, is Kurt Zyza. He's a very, very hard boss, and I am like super over leveled for this. Like at this point in the game, I'm like level 80 something. Mm-hmm. And so what happens is, you saw in that first phase, he's got 2 orbs in his arms. What you have to do is you have to physically attack those orbs, and once those break, he becomes vulnerable to a physical attack on his head. He's got a little orb in his mouth, and you attack his mouth, right? And now in the second phase, what he does is he's only vulnerable to magic, so you have to hit him with magic. And as you can tell, my MP bar is extremely low.
Yeah, you're low on the MP.
Yeah, and so I pop an ether right here, and I'm getting like completely smacked by these attacks. And I would like to point out, by the way, that this was my very first time ever fighting this boss. Right? Like, really? Back in the day, like me and Noah, like, we had played Kingdom Hearts 1 on PS2, and he had fought this boss, but I wasn't there for that, and I never saw how it went down. Right? And I've never seen any videos of this boss before. So this was my first experience with this boss. And so you'll see I'm like super unprepared. I don't have any, I only had like, what, 2 ethers? So I have like no ethers. Only like 2 or 3 high potions and like 1 or 2 potions. And it was around this point where I started realizing, oh, it's magic, because I'm not doing any damage to a sphere, but Donald is. My dogs are fighting. You can probably hear it. So I start rolling around. I'm waiting for Donald, and at this point, I'm actually dodge rolling into the sphere to try to see if my Eroga will damage him, which it does not. So I'm waiting for Donald to do a bunch of strikes, and so he'll do lightning or a blizzard or something, and he'll drop those magic MP orbs, which I haven't in the video figured out that those are important. So you'll see that I just did a Thundara right there. I'm going to eventually figure out that that's what I need to do, which I think is now. Ooh, dogs. So anyway, so my first time ever fighting this boss.
You absolutely stomped him.
Yeah, I've never seen anything this until this thing.
It's honestly like really impressive.
Well, I've been playing Kingdom Hearts 1 for quite a while. Like, I played it on easy mode just about a week ago, and I beat it in 13 and a half hours or something like that.
Nice.
And then I was doing an achievement run for that one. So when I get to here, I'm about 40 hours into the game at this. So I've been playing for a while, and I am level like 80. So I'm doing a lot of damage, and you'll notice that the Keyblade I have there, Lady Luck, does a lot of critical damage, and so his health bar will go down a lot. This is a very critical moment in boss fight. He just starts like doing these spinning attacks, and they're really hard to dodge.
There's an enemy in
that's what's going on.
There's an enemy in Nier Automata that has that exact same attack animation.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a big like hovercraft, and it like so like Nier Automata is weird in that it's like every kind of game ever. It's like a it's like a bullet hell and platform and
a bit of everything.
It's everything, but like it starts spinning around. It's like spinning around, then it turns sideways and does that like death spin like in a straight line that you have to dodge. Like it looks exactly like that. That's actually really funny.
Where am I? Oh, right. So after the spinning attacks happen, he comes back into this this phase where he's swinging his scimitars around, and he comes back to having those 2 orbs in his hands, and you have to defeat the orbs, and that'll give you the opportunity to take him out. And occasionally he'll go into his what I call a circular saw stuff. So he'll do that, and I don't think he does it again, but he might go into like the somersault thing. No, he doesn't. I think this is where I just whack him. I don't know. Do I win? Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, you win. Good job.
So it's my first time ever fighting that boss. Very
really
impressive performance. And actually, I only figured out that like I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that there was like optional bosses in this game. Like before this video started, I was hunting for synthesis items, and I was fighting the pot scorpion, which gives you a mithril stone, which is a thing that only came up in Final Mix. And I loaded in from the gummy ship into Aladdin's house, and I saw what's it called? I saw carpet like bouncing up and down, and I was like, oh, cool. That's a thing. So I went ahead and did that. So, hold on, let me stop screen sharing. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing for the past past while.
Yeah,
I'm doing pretty good.
Just saying. Incoming abridged reference. Mr. Piccolo will be very proud.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, your dodging is impeccable.
That's so
Mateo, we're down to you. Tell us.
All right, so
tell us your news.
As we transition, because it'll kind of
just because I know exactly what you've been playing.
Yes. What have I been playing, Chance?
You've been playing fucking No Man's Sky.
I have been playing No Man's Sky. It's been great. I've been great. So, No Man's Sky, No Man's Sky next update came out, and everyone's like, this game still sucks. I played it. So here's the thing. You know, we don't need to go over the success story or lack of success story or whatever. We did all that. But
yeah,
the core gameplay loop of No Man's Sky has not changed. So if you don't like the idea of how No Man's Sky plays, it's still the same. There's just actually stuff in the game now. That's the thing.
Speaking as a person who I did not play the original No Man's Sky because I heard all the shit that went down. But you've played No Man's Sky next. Would you suggest it?
If you like that gameplay loops, that's the biggest thing. If you like that gameplay loop, then yes. Because they haven't changed it. Like, because regardless of the state that No Man's Sky launched in, the foundation of the game was there. It was a solid foundation. It's like you wake up on a planet, you start mining for resources, you get enough fuel or whatever to get off the current planet that you're on, and then you rinse and repeat. So it's very monotonous actually in that formula, but it's kind of like when people first got into Minecraft before like they got into like the heavy Minecraft stuff. It's like you went and you punched a tree, then you went and dug a hole, you found some iron, you built a pickaxe, punched some more trees, dug some more holes, you found diamond, fought a dragon, died, and started all over again. Like that was the That's like the basic
Sorry.
Minecraft
I didn't
loop.
expect my girlfriend to flush in the toilet.
Jesus Christ.
Hashtag demonetized.
Toilet
Oh,
humor. We're all
we're gonna be demonetized no matter fucking what, you know.
Yeah.
But
True.
All right, guys. I think this would be a good time to point out the fact I am not wearing any pants right now.
okay, there we go.
Dude, same.
And
There we go.
that is the beauty of podcasts right there. You
Who wears
know,
pants
Because
when
the
you
fact
don't
that
have
you're.
just completely. It's all out here right now. You know.
Boy.
Hello, ladies.
There we go. GG. Yep, no pants.
GG, everybody. GG.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, No Man's Sky, like it's there. Like the game plays. There's actually stuff to do. They redid the terrain generation. There's still a lot of so like before the big problem was like you land on a planet and all the planets look the same, right? The planets look different now, but you still do the same thing on them. Like you're still like the gameplay loops, like you're still just getting resources to fly to the next planet. That's the game. But if you like that kind of game, like if you like the Minecrafts, if you like the like Elite Dangerous, right? Where it's like this is like in Elite Dangerous, right? If you're a trader, you're just gonna get in it, you're gonna go on your trade route, and then you're gonna do it again. Like then you're gonna get a better ship.
Mateo, one second. Don't talk shit about my Starship Truck Simulator, you little punk ass bitch.
Oh my god. Oh my god. He got so defensive about
right?
it.
He got but I mean,
I really enjoy Elite Dangerous.
it's a good game. It's a good. I think honestly, I feel like No Man's Sky has the thing that Elite Dangerous I think they're working on now, but it's like a chill Elite Dangerous, but it's one of those chill part of Minecraft.
The way I would describe it is it's not a game where you would probably sit down and devote hours at a time to. It's more of a game where it's like, I just want to do something while I listen to music or listen to a podcast like this very good podcast.
Well,
wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
That's kind of
it's
the
something
cool thing,
you
though.
do.
Yeah,
It's just something you do while you listen to other things.
Yeah, totally. It is a totally chill game. But honestly, you're gonna lose time in it. Like you're gonna get on, you're gonna start mining some planet, and then next thing you know is a few hours will have passed, and you don't know what happened. And because like the loop is fun, and the age-old truth of like everything is better with friends as multiplayer. The multiplayer works. It's a little bit glitchy at times, but what multiplayer game isn't anymore? Because nothing works. Nothing ever works in video games anymore. That's where we live. We live in a time where nothing ever works. But I think they did